Teams leave that for the Radiant's responsibility.
Yeah,
But
that is pretty unusual. And the other thing along with that is normally when teams give away bat, they go for a trade. And Lycan is like the obvious trade. Is
yeah,
either that or maybe you get something like a Doom. We have seen Ice 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 play it quite a bit, but yeah, that's a good point. Normally we don't see Dire banning Lycan, and if they do, they are normally getting something in return.
yeah.
But they get Shadow Demon Mirana, a combo that has been very strong for some teams. We saw Mouse Sports using that to great effect yesterday in DreamHack, or in Dream League, I guess you would call it. I actually can't believe teams are still giving those heroes to Mouse because they've been using the same heroes for like two and a half months now, and
Yeah.
continues to work. So it is a very strong combo. Then they go for just this big 5-man follow-up. Tidehunter, Kunkka, good pick-off potential, and the boat has a 1-minute cooldown, but yeah, they are very gank and team fight heavy right now, I would say, for DK.
Yeah, some pretty solid laners as well. Tidehunter continues to impress, whether he's solo safe lane, solo off lane, that anchor smash. Always difficult to deal with. I'm sure he'll give this Darkseer a run for his money. Mushi's Kunkka needs no introduction. And NewBee will grab a 4th pick Morphling here to go with their 3rd pick Disruptor. So, I don't know. I like this DK roster. It's just pretty straightforward and fairly easy to execute heroes with that big death ball.
You mentioned the Mushi Kunkka. I believe when they ran it earlier today, it actually was a support Kunkka.
Really?
So,
oh, man.
yeah, you can run Mirana as a core, and then Kunkka, not the strongest support on his own, but if he's got like a Shadow Demon to set up for him, then it's a pretty good dual roaming combo. So options are open here how they want to run it. They could run it as a 4-position Tide, but we don't see that very often nowadays. Other option is probably the more likely one is the 4-position Mirana if they didn't want to run support Kunkka. So we'll see what they do. But yeah, options are flexible. The one thing is whoever their supports are, they're very good at ganking. Whether it's Mirana, Shadow Demon, Kunkka, I don't think we'll see the support Tide. But those two duos are both very good roaming combos.
Yeah, that's very true. NewBee will need a support with their last pick, and DK actually ban out the Brewmaster. So we have seen some teams run the position 4 Brew to some effect. I'm not a big fan of it, but it has worked in the past, and NewBee, they'll ban out the Anti-Mage. So assuming that the Kunkka and Mirana both are going to be the supports here, or, well, no. Either way, I don't know. Do you think they were going for a hard carry last pick? That's not really the angle I was thinking DK were taking with this draft.
Well, it looks like NewBee are expecting the Mushi Kunkka that you mentioned, the offlane Tide for Ice Ice Ice, and then support Mirana Shadow Demon. And the nice thing about AM is he can crush Darkseer 1v1. So if you get that matchup, you have a free farm hard carry.
Okay. Well, they were.
And then your supports are free to gank other lanes, and you can still get him a lot of farm. So they won't go that direction, obviously. It's a Luna.
So they go a similar route. Yeah, they go for the hard carry. So
this one giving them a bit more team fight punch. And Luna, a hero that generally matches up pretty well against Morphling. The main reason just being that she pushes in team fights very effectively early to mid game, especially with Kunkka and Tide backing her up. And that's where NewBee aren't that great in that position. They need the Darkseer to get close to like level 10, 11. Disruptor needs to get his level 6, which can be difficult for him as a support just because he doesn't flash farm that quickly, and if the Morphling needs help in lane, he will be slowed down. So this Luna pick could definitely work. They can also abuse Ancients very well with Tide, Kunkka, and Luna. Yeah. Tide can solo farm though once he gets the level 3 Kraken Shell and Max Anchor Smash. So yeah, we'll see. Pretty flexible draft here from DK though.
Yeah, for sure. And now we'll see what NewBee want to pick up. Again, support will be what they're looking at. And actually, DK have made quite the note to ban out a lot of the supports they probably would be going after here. Enchantress, Visage, and Jakiro all taken out of the pool. What is remaining that they could potentially grab? Dazzle is still an option.
They ideally want, I'd say, some sort of lockdown. They have Disruptor, but they have one real stun, which is Lasso. So
yeah.
In that respect, there is Rubik.
Maybe a Lion as well.
Yeah, Lion wouldn't be Lion Disruptor is a big kind of passive and I wouldn't say greedy, but
they both need level 6, which
they
can
both
be a
need
problem.
levels. They're not really the best roamers early on, especially as a duo.
I guess there's a lot of stuff for Rubik here, but
I was just about to say there are some junglers.
Go Chen, yeah.
Enchantress was banned, but there was Enigma as well as the Chen, and Enigma would have been the go-to choice at the summit. We saw teams first picking Enigma, but
yeah,
Chen definitely a safe, stable support pick. And it frees up the lane farm for Disruptor is the main thing here. So Chen can go get his levels in the jungle, and Disruptor won't be having to have like a Lion leeching experience for him.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, with that being said, let's get logged off of Steam Friends here. Good luck. Good luck to S4 and Dream League. If you're not watching that already, guys, this is a good time to have your multi-twitch.tv open. I believe it's /Dream League, and of course, if you're listening to this, /Beyond the Summit as well. So that's a good Dota today, man. I'm looking forward to watching that after we see how this grand final shakes out.
Yeah, this is one of these times where there's more Dota than one person can watch. So yeah, like you said, multi-Twitch is the way to go.
And don't forget about the World Cup.
Yeah.
I know Valat's like I gotta fix my hotkeys here, but yeah, Valat's like watching it on a secondary monitor while things are going on.
I believe it. We were joking that he was going to request that here, a whole separate TV and stream just for his World Cup endeavors, but
you can see the players getting ready to go as the game gets underway, and trying to catch the camera shots here, getting used to our old production setup.
Yeah, I know.
It was so nice. We didn't have a producer for like a solid month. You know, we just roll in K-pop Tosis. Occasionally Conrad would take care of everything, and we'd just be chilling. But.
Yeah. Well, we will see DK with a 5-man smoke in the offlane, already headed down, perhaps looking to invade, get some wards down in the enemy jungle. We'll see where they end up. Haven't dropped any wards quite yet. They'll rotate actually into the lane, looking for a level 1 pickoff, but NewBee positioned appropriately, and no one to be found quite yet. Banana.
Is this appropriate? Oh, Beam. He already skilled the aura. So.
Oh, wow, he'll get hit by a torrent. Follow up from the Shadow Demon. There's the arrow. This will be your first blood. Great setup from Mushi's Kunkka. That was just a straight torrent. Very impressive.
What a beautiful torrent from Mushi. Generally, you do see Lunas get the aura at level 1 just because it really helps you in the tri-lane, but that was a case where Lucid Beam has that really long range. You get the mini stun. That sets up an easy disruption. But
how? He's going to walk up to the high ground. Lanham's right here. There's the disruption. Do they have another arrow just coming off cooldown in the nick of time? This will be a 2-0 to get things started. LD Burning picks up that one.
He really underestimated their damage.
Wow.
He thought, okay, they just got the first blood. They're going to go right back, check the rune, try and do the creep block, and get into the lane. But still, that's pretty greedy from Hao to try and walk up that cliff. And he wanted to check the rune and then head over to the lane. Skilled waveform, but he just got burst down before he got to use it. What a terrible start for NewBee.
Yeah, and Burning getting one of those kills as well makes it that much worse. And look at this with DK continuing the aggression. Moo will go mid with the Bat Rider. Already a 2-hero rotation. Lanham with an invisibility rune he picked up at the 0-0 mark. This Bat Rider in a very aggressive position. Caught in the disruption. Torrent to follow up. Will connect. Arrow not inbound quite yet, but they might not even need it. Right clicks will be sufficient. Arrow just off the mark, but Kunkka chops him down, gives him the axe, and, well, I was going to say gives him the Tidebringer, but he was still level 1.
Well, game was really hard for NewBee.
Wow.
They gave up 2 kills, one on a support, one on one of their tri-lane, or dual-lane heroes, I guess you could say, in the Morph lane, and now they give up a kill mid. Bat Rider versus Kunkka, normally a pretty decent matchup for Bat, and it is a very early death, so I don't think this ruins the mid lane. It's more just this offensive tri-lane is really strong right now.
Yes.
And DK can just have their way with jungle.
Now, they did get a couple wards down. The Chen has been jungling aggressively. His big camp was blocked by a sentry, and the pull camp is blocked as well. Banana's up top. Does he have a creep? Yeah, he sure does. It's a Satyr Tormentor, and they're zoning out Ice 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 fairly effectively. Tide's only been able to pick up 3 CS, and Zhao Wei doing some work on this Darkseer. Actually, the last hit leader now as he moves behind the tower, trying to find the big old watermelon here.
Well, watermelon found. Can he make his way out?
And there's your point in Kraken Shell as well. So
Anchor Smash isn't going to help you against the Darkseer, really, though. That's kind of the concern here. Yeah, he's just going to go down.
Yeah, Banana dives that he takes a gush to the face, but yeah, Kraken Shell not particularly effective there. The Ion Shell just completely brings him down.
In fact, dare I say it, it's not very effective.
Yeah.
That's one thing my brother and I do every year. Is we have a little Pokemon reunion. We used to play it a lot as kids.
Oh, yeah.
They're going right back in.
Yeah, they're going to go on to... Oh, up top, yeah. They're going into Hao down bottom. And never mind. He'll position himself and won't get caught by the arrow. MMY and Lanham staying aggressive, though, on the other side of the tree line. Hao will press forward. Uh-oh. He could get caught here once again. MMY trying to position for a good arrow. Hao just walks right by the Shadow Demon. There's the disruption. Arrow on the mark. Do they have the damage to bring him down, though? He's getting off the morph. And no, he'll survive.
And meanwhile, top lane, your Darkseer just fighting around the Rosie with the Tide. He's running in the trees. They're surging the creep. Ice 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 is eating trees to juke his way out. It's just a bloody mess.
Yeah.
Score end of the day is 3-1. So I like the movement from the Chen going aggressive jungle. He knows that they already went into his woods. They dropped some wards. He can't really safely de-ward having given up those early kills because some support duos aren't that good at killing like a Chen level 1, but well, as we see them go in top lane, Ice might go down again, but yeah, this Shadow Demon Mirana can kill anyone, so I do like that adjustment from the Chen. But
Actually, Xiao 8's the one on the run, forced to surge away as Ice hits him with the anchor.
man, this is NewBee is really struggling to find their levels in farm here. Moo just trying to do a bit of jungling, but he doesn't have the big camp to farm, and they're not getting as much. This is a lineup that really uses the jungle well. Darkseer, Bat, and Chen. If you leave, all three of them can farm stacks, whether it's with a Wildkin, Ion Shell, or Firefly. But when they've got the Magic Bush ward down, the big camp's warded, and they're just getting ganked. MMY's like showing up all over the place here. Even when he doesn't throw an arrow, he's threatening for the ganks. Very scary.
Exactly, not giving them any room to breathe. And actually, Moo almost got hit by an arrow when he was farming that medium camp there. It whizzed right by his head. So moving back towards the mid lane, tied with Mushi's Kunkka right now, 15 CS apiece. Again, Ice may find himself in a sticky wicket here as this Dark Troll Summoner looks to wrap around the tower. Banana trying to stay aggressive, but so far only one kill on the Tide has been a little bit underwhelming. He's only level... Oh, he is level 4 now, okay. So.
Killing a solo here like that, it's like you might only get one kill, but it's more worthwhile than a support. And man, they really want this kill.
Yeah, wow.
Charlie top.
Hal rotating now as well.
He can't farm bottom. Might as well switch up the lanes and go for a kill while you do it.
Ice on the retreat, finds Banana. The ensnare will come about. Darkseer to follow up will surge through the tower. Anchor smash, slowing down the Chen. Ice is just fine. He'll just walk away.
Ryan Shell Chen, you can't dive the tower, man. Oh, he came very close. And now Mushi's coming. Uh-oh. Watch out for Mushi.
Hal gets surged, waveform forward. Ice hits him with the anchor, just trying to make some space in the tower. Hal taking a lot of damage. Mushi coming in. X, Torrent. That'll be a dead Hal. It's a 1-for-1 in the top lane.
That is not a good exchange. Yeah, the Tidehunter dies, but that takes 3 heroes. Mushi easily cleans up the Morphling, who, by the way, has 4 CS. Oh, this is not looking good right now for NewBee.
And now Xiao 8 in trouble. He's already burned his surge. He's out of mana. He'll get X'd back. Alanim coming forward, stacking up. Oh, no, that's not poison. That's a soul catcher right into the disruption. One more surge left. Tide is TP to the tier 2 tower. They won't be able to bring him down. Darkseer just a little too elusive, but what do you do with a Morphling that's this underfarmed? We're only 5 minutes in, but
now
1 CS a minute is
but
just...
they've lost 2 they've lost... Well, the tier 1, I should say the safe lane towers have been traded, but they've lost even more map control. The tier 1's down bottom, and yeah, they get some tower gold of their own top. That does go the way of the Radiant, so not denied, but the answer is there's not a whole lot you can do with a Morphle at this stage of the game.
Yeah.
Except just hope that they make mistakes.
Yeah. Aggression continuing on for DK here, MMY and Lanham, taking the high ground. Outside the Radiant Ancients, there is a dire ward on the low ground here, but NewBee will wrap around. They are actually smoked up. Banana's got himself a Satyr Tormentor, and Sen Sheng on the Disruptor is also smoked up behind the tower. Looks like they may want to make a defense here.
They have Ravage now. They have Ravage, and they have I think they could just... And Eclipse. I think they can just 5-man mid.
Yeah.
How's NewBee going to stop it?
Burning also has 2 points in the aura, so you do not want to go blow for blow with this dire team. I'm getting some lag here.
Gonna get blown up, and I believe he went down. I didn't actually get a death notification. Yeah, he did.
Yeah, I got... okay, the boat never popped up on my screen, so...
You're not getting boats, I'm not getting death notifications. Like, I saw his health go to, like, 1%. I'm, like, racking my brain for any spells that could have kept him alive.
On my screen, the Torrent looked more like a Midnight Pulse, so I don't really know what happened there, but...
That'd be pretty OP.
Yeah, anyway...
If Torrent had the AoE of Midnight Pulse now.
Yeah. So I was like, what is happening?
Chronosphere-sized Torrent. She would like that.
They get a kill on the Darkseer and doing a lot of damage to this tier 1. Haven't committed to the push quite yet, and actually 2 heroes looking for the wraparound. MMY. No, we'll get repelled by Mr. Tomato here.
Well, they've got an energy booster. That's a good start.
Yeah.
The thing is, NewBee are just not that good at fighting early on. Even though their team fight looks really good on paper, Disruptor and Darkseer, these are not like get level 6. Well, they are get level 6 in fight heroes in the case of Disruptor, but he's a support against a very strong aggressive Trine that got an early kill. And you compare that to DK, they have 2 solos as their team fight heroes. So you've Kunkka, you've Tide, almost guaranteed to get quick level 6s, and as soon as they do, they just go fight.
Yeah.
What's Darkseer gonna do? He's level 6, maybe with a perfect wall he can set up a team fight, but I think if you're DK, you don't really have to wait too long. You don't have to 5-man it necessarily, but send like 3-4 heroes at a tower, and maybe you're just... Chen's not a good tower defender. Disruptor doesn't have his levels yet. What's Morphling going to do? We already talked about that, so...
Yeah,
I think DK are in a really good position to keep on exerting pressure right now.
Yeah, they have a window before Moo gets his Blink Dagger. He's about 1,300 gold on the bat, so he's doing okay. We're only 8 minutes in, so he's well on his way to a 11, 12-minute Blink, assuming he doesn't get picked off here. He is clearing out a decently fat stack here. Looks like actually it's just a 2-stack, but still finding some farm in the jungle, and if he gets a Blink, that will make their defending efforts a little bit easier. Lanham and MMY smoked up once again, rotating forward.
They actually saw the smoke initially, I believe. They have a ward mid that just sees all the way across the hill, like right to those trees. But yeah, they're just kind of farming together. This way, if you go in with the disruption arrow, you've got like the Chen creeps to block it and stuff.
Yeah, and Moo will clear out the mud golems. Now up to 1,600 gold.
I don't know if they can get this kill. Arrow barely clips him.
And Banana coming in as well, and Snare onto MMY. Ice, Ice, Ice on his way. There's your Ravage. How does get hit by it. They'll click him down. That's a dead Morphling.
Oh, I thought it was going to be dodged by the waveform, but he waved outward. So he waved like from the center of the Ravage towards the outside, and the Ravage travels outward in an AoE. So he barely impaled himself upon the spikes, but he was close to waveform dodging that, actually.
Yeah. Close but no cigar, as they say, LD. And that takes Morphling now to 0 and 3.
Free fountain trip for Mushi. X yourself, go back to the base, and come back in.
Yeah, being
Good
cute
stuff.
here. Phase boots into drums, very standard stuff on this Kunkka, but Mushi's Kunkka is just hard to deal with. And he's one of the few players that likes the third point and X marks the spot. You see a lot of players that like the 2, but he likes that extra second.
Yeah, the main difference is with 2 you have a guaranteed torrent, but with 3 you have a guaranteed boat torrent. If you just X, boat immediately, and then torrent, it hits like 99 times out of 100, unless they have like a puck or someone who can instantly dodge one of the spells. So the 3 points are just more reliable for hitting your whole combo. If you X, torrent, and then boat, heroes can often run away depending on the exact positioning, move speed, and stuff like that. So I think generally the 3 is a bit stronger.
Bat Rider in some trouble. They'll try to surround him, but he'll TP back to safe. That's actually a 4-hero rotation coming out from DK.
Well, they need some space created right now, because DK are coming. I'm honestly, I'd be surprised if DK doesn't fight fairly soon. At this point, I guess the concern is Bat Rider's got his Blink about to come out, but your team fight's just so damn strong right now. You've got Boat, you've got the Ravage. Well, actually, Ravage is cooling down right now.
Yeah.
We've got cats going nuts with our cameras at the moment. Boat will come in mid lane. That's going to connect on Xiao 8. Is there follow-up? No follow-up. Yeah, I guess they'll want to wait for the Ravage, but the window is there. Anytime Ravage is up for DK to take a huge team fight.
Yeah, it sure is. And actually,
we've got a cat going nuts in the studio right now. She's running laps around the equipment. Lysander's trying to track her down, but Munchkin is indefatigable.
well,
find Banana here.
yeah, the support duo once again. No, he'll position himself well.
Well, how well?
Moo's coming in. He's got a Blink Dagger. Can he catch someone? Looks like you could see 2 fights break out. Banana down bottom gets caught by Ice, Ice, Ice. Hal actually gets stunned by the Mirana as well. The Ensnare buys the Mirana a little bit of time. Wadham, though, he's not going to be so lucky. Shadow Demon will be the first to go down. Ice, Ice, Ice has a Ravage ready. He can connect with 4 heroes here, but where's the follow-up?
He needs Mushi to follow this one up. The boat's cooling down. Are they going to commit to this? I think they can turn it around. Mushi, help out. Ice, Ice, Ice. He just Ravages. And that's it.
TP's home, at least, so he does survive. Boat was just a little bit too far away. If it had come up maybe 1 or 2 seconds earlier, I think Mushi would have gone for it, but just didn't have the opening.
The main thing is Bernie wasn't with them, and he wouldn't have been able to get there in time. He was just off farming top lane, and I guess the thought from DK is let's just get Burning farm. Maybe we give up a single kill, but we create a lot of space for him in the meantime. And it was basically a 5-hero movement from NewBee.
Yeah.
You do not want to be 5-manning with the Morphling. You want to be split pushing, farming, and playing 4 protect 1, or at least making things happen without him and having to run around with 4 heroes, because the hero needs a lot of farm. In terms of team fights, he's got to be ahead to have the impact of a Luna. And right now, he's nowhere close.
Yeah, and Luna does a lot of damage to that top tier 1 tower, just barely keeps it out of deny range. Burning has picked up a Midas here, so space created for him means he gets to free farm away and continue to accelerate over this Morphling, who, of course, does not have a Midas, just sitting on Aquila and Power Treads at the moment. So not really bad news for DK. Burning is well on his way. We'll see if he goes for that Helm of the Dominator. He could probably get away with the ultra greedy Midas into Helm of the Dom.
Yeah, if he wants to be like the more balanced path, I guess you can always go for Yasha as something that helps you farm and build towards a like your next big item normally after BKB. But yeah.
Oh man,
he can even go straight BKB. He's still gonna outfarm this Morphling at the rate he's going. He's like 40 CS up, and they've got the map control.
fresh ward put down by the Shadow Demon right next to a sentry. That stings a little bit.
It's gonna leave a mark.
Uh-oh.
Oh, move sad because he's got Mud Golem.
Yeah. Everybody's sad. But
Except for Bernie.
except for
He's free
Burning.
farming. He's happy.
Hey, at least Moo has a Blink Dagger. That's something. But how? Maybe thinking about initiation onto Ice Ice Ice. He will waveform forward. There is a Shadow Demon on the other side of the tree line.
Actually,
No
the
Ravage.
Disruptor ult, they can get this kill.
Well, Soul Catcher comes out onto Sanshang. Ice Ice Ice. Not really much he can do here without a Ravage. He will get... how did he jump back right there? On him, he'll get picked off as well. So it's a 2-for-0 in the bottom lane. NewBee do rotate 5, but...
You mean the Tide?
Yeah, the Tide.
Oh,
How
it
did
was
he
a
jump?
glimpse.
Oh, he got glimpsed. Or...
Yeah.
I kept thinking...
I think it was a... Maybe it was a...
No,
maybe
it was a glimpse.
Maybe it was a vacuum.
In my head, I was thinking, that Kunkka isn't nearby. There's too many reposition heroes here, and it's too early in the morning, LD. But 2-for-0 going the way of NewBee. That will close to level things up in terms of hero kills, but DK still has a huge farm advantage in the bottom lane. How? In some trouble. Will morph strength. He'll be able to wait for him back, but X into the Eclipse. Wow. That's another kill going the way of DK, and Burning will shut down the Morphling a bit further.
I don't know about this go mid for Moo. Yeah, he shows up mid with a haste run and a blink dagger. He's like, oh wait, that's a Tide with Ravage. I should probably back.
Yeah. Yeah. Ravage is just cooled down, and now Chen, he's going to lose his army of creeps here. He's got a Dark Troll, a Hellbear, as well as a Satyr, and all three will get picked off here. Even a Lucent Beam to make it sting. Meanwhile, near the tower, Moo, he gets stunned up. That's a dead Bat Rider, and they will secure the tower kill as well. DK with this 5-man Death Ball, Moonlight Shadow, Torrent connects onto Sanshang. That'll be a dead Disruptor. As
Beautiful uphill torrents from Muchi.
Yeah.
As our good friend Nota would say, he's just so smart, man.
Yeah, so smart. And Mech is complete on Ice Ice Ice. Tier 2 tower in the mid will take a tumble. It looks like LD, NewBee.
They still have Ravage, by the way. They're getting on these kills without even using a Ravage.
Yeah, I don't know why they're backing up here. They have a boat as well. No Eclipse, but...
It is a little dangerous. You push into Darkseer and Disruptor if they get the vacuum into Kinetic Field off.
Yeah.
Could potentially kill heroes like Shadow Demon, maybe Luna, who is a bit squishy.
Yeah.
Speaking of Burning, actually goes back for drums.
Wow. I guess the lasso is still available as well, so just wanted to play it safe. But
It's one of those, like, they probably could win the fight anyway, but why take the risk? You can wait for everything to be online and then fight.
this is the grand finals after all, so better safe than sorry. There will be a smoke from NewBee. They find Ice Ice Ice.
Ice Ice Ice, baby.
And can they bring him down? Ravage, he's trying to get off. There it is. They will survive long enough to get past the silence. Boat comes flying through, won't connect with a hell of a lot. All still alive. Ice 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 first to go down. Now Mushi on the run. His team kind of in shambles. They're scattering in different directions. They will dive past the tower, waveform forward, but Mushi survives for now. MMY caught in the trees. No leap available. And he'll be okay. X marks the spot. Pulls back Banana. They will be able to grab a kill on the Chen, so it is a 2-for-1. NewBee find the better of it. Actually, a 2-for-3.
Yeah.
Wow.
That was
3-for-1. Jesus.
Yeah, that was unexpectedly good for NewBee. It looked really bad because they glimpsed the Tide and they want to just. One of the best counters to Tidehunter is Static Storm because Kraken Shell won't remove it. It's sort of like Black Hole. It just you're stuck in it until it wears off. But the kinetic field wasn't quite right, so Ice 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 just walked forward before the kinetic field set, walked out of the kinetic field, ravaged on 5, but there was really no follow-up for it at that point. Like,
yeah,
I didn't see the boat hit too many heroes. NewBee just ran down the stragglers, and what looked like a very promising potential turnaround for DK really wasn't in the end. The other big thing was they did not have Eclipse there. If they have Eclipse, level 2 Eclipse now in Burning, I think DK handily takes that fight, but NewBee making the most out of very little.
Yep.
Tide. They were down 6k gold and they still won that fight.
Yeah, absolutely. So Tide weathered the storm. That's the phrase I was looking for there that I tripped myself up on.
Yeah.
Disruptor with the storm. Oh, almost with a pun, LTS. This close. So Luna did go for that greedy.
I feel like you just shouldn't have told me and saved that for later. But now when you say it, it's not going to be clever.
Well, yeah, that's a good point. But Helm of the Dominator is now out on Luna, so we may see Ancients getting stacked. But how? Down bottom, they'll find him in the tree. Short-range arrow will connect. Waveform. And end. He'll get X'd back. That's another dead Morphling, and, well, that takes him now 1 and 5. Almost half the kills that DK picked up has been on this poor Morphling.
Pretty damn sure that was just one of those, like, maybe hasn't TP'd out yet arrows from MMY. Let's just give it a whirl.
Yeah.
And happens to connect. They didn't actually have a lane ward there. They have a ward over here. They knew he was in the bottom lane, but he could have been gone by that point, so... just went fishing, and he reels in a big one, getting the Morphling yet again.
Yeah.
This Morphling is so sad.
Yeah.
He's 1 and 5.
Yeah.
They actually don't have a single hero that I would say is like, well, Shadow Demon, probably the one hero that's really good against Morphling, but the rest of these heroes are just decent.
Yeah.
There's no Doom, there's no Disruptor, there aren't any heroes I'm like, man, that hero just crushes Morphling. And he's 1 and 5. He's not farming well. He's being forced to team fight. He can't even do that. And with no Lincolns or BKB, he's just food for any time they catch him out with an X.
Yeah, and meanwhile on the Dire side, both Burning and Mushi are 3, 0, and 5. I think Mushi actually has 1 additional assist, so they're not hurting for gold, and nothing really slowing them down. Mu is invisible, looking to perhaps snatch the Aegis here, but nope, DK will back out with plenty of time to spare. They are scouting out Lanham, as well as Mushi. Oh, Mu is right on top of them, and they have no idea. Maybe they could, NewBee can use this intel to their advantage. There is a big, fatty quad stack here, and DK will start to clear that out. Compliments of that Helm of the Dominator. They've got a Dark Troll Summoner here stacking things up.
Apparently DK was actually smacked, so or smoked, not smacked. So it wasn't a blind arrow. He actually the smoke did get broken, and that's why he went for the arrow.
Ah, okay.
But I think you still go for that one anyway.
Yeah, definitely. They will clear out that 4 stack of Ancients, so even though they don't get Roche here, DK still finding some farm, and they may just rotate back into Roche now that NewBee have retreated out. So they have another smoke available here. No, they don't.
I think they could take a Roche fight at this point. They have the level 2 Eclipse, level 2 Ravage, and
yeah,
the main thing is if the fight goes south, if they all get caught in Static Storm, as well as Vacuum Wall, they could throw this lead. So they're in no hurry to do it, but looks like they'll make their move again. They've got the mech Urn online now. As long as Ty doesn't die before getting off Ravage, it's going to be very hard for NewBee to contest, and looks like they're not going to go for it.
Yeah, there is an Observer Ward on the high ground here for the Radiant, and it sort of sees MMY right now. I think they can infer they're in Roche, but there's still a big dark area that DK used to walk into the pit. So there's a rotation from NewBee on their way over. I don't think they'll get here in time. If Bat goes right now, maybe he can snatch the Aegis. There's your Flame Break, Firefly. Lasso onto Lanham. Roche will fall. Luna picks up the Aegis, and it will cost him the Shadow Demon. He gets off a disruption before he goes down. It is on Hal. The boat comes flying through. Morphling taking tower shots. Vacuum from the Darkseer. Out comes the all-heal from Chen. There's your Ravage from Ice Ice Ice. Connects on 3 of the 4. Eclipse to follow up. Bat Rider and Disruptor both going to go down. Xiao 8 now caught in the X. Torrent, he'll fall as well. It's a 1 for 3. And DK taking the fight by storming force. Hal on the run. Arrow will get intercepted by creeps, and the Morphling will survive this one, but still DK with a very convincing win.
Well, now they'll go down mid. They get 3 heroes. They get the Aegis. They give up really nothing, and yeah, losing a Shadow Demon's a bit unfortunate, but well worth it in exchange. And they'll take a tier 2 mid. Map control is the main thing for DK is their cooldowns are up now, so they don't have Ravage, they don't have Boat or Eclipse. They're not going to break the base yet, but they can just farm, get Burning's next item, and then go for the high ground. And by that point, well, we'll see what he wants to go for. If they want to take it late, he can just opt to skip BKB. He's up against Lasso, so maybe he just goes for like the straight Manta, Satanic. Even the I have Scotty, not an item that Burning generally favors, but we have seen some players like Eternal Envy do that in the past. So DK really have their pick of options here. They can try to break the base now, they can farm for late game. It's either way, it could be very effective.
Yeah, and this is the point in the game where you're really feeling that underfarm Morphling. How working on a BKB, not bad, but just look at his farm. He's got about 6k on net worth. Luna doubling him now, upwards of 12k. And Burning had that fast Midas, and it's more than kicked in. He will indeed go for the BKB himself, picks it up, and it will be delivered right now on that courier. So there's
it's just really good against Disruptor.
Yeah.
It's very, if you don't get a BKB, you get caught Static Storm, it can just ruin a fight. So
yeah,
it's a pretty safe choice.
There's just nothing slowing down Burning whatsoever. He's going to retreat to the jungle, and there's a couple of stacks that his teammates have been kind enough to set up for him. Still continuing to stack the Ancients, actually just a single stack right now, but Old Centaur is on the high ground, ready to stack at the next rotation here.
Yeah, DK will just sit back. They'll wait for the Ravage, the Eclipse, and Bernie will continue to farm those stacks his teammates are putting down, and then they'll go. And in the meantime, where's the pressure? This Morphling doesn't even have a BKB yet. No E-Blade, no real ganking threat. There's no sense of urgency for DK. There's just nothing saying like, oh shit, we'd better go now.
Well, Bad Rider has picked up a gem as well as a Force Staff following this blink, so maybe they can find a little bit of map control here. On that same token, Kunkka will grab a gem. So both sides looking to hunt some wards, and also Mushi has picked up a Shadow Blade now, so he's a little more elusive and, of course, has that extra bit of damage to pair with Tidebringer, so...
He's got the rune of many kills now with the
yes.
AD rune as well.
Luna's not the only one farming, and even MMY, I wonder what he's going for. Is that just going to be a Linken's with this ultimate orb? I reckon
Probably,
so. But
yeah. It's good against the lasso. If you just throw Linken's on a teammate right when Bat jumps them.
Yep.
That can be a very unexpected and unpleasant turnaround.
Yeah. NewBee also have a Blink Dagger on their Darkseer, so they have plenty of initiation, but they just don't have the follow-up damage. That's their biggest problem right now. Disruptor working on a Ag Scepter, has the Ogre Club as well as the Point Booster, so 2,000 gold away, but if he manages to pick it up, could be an item that potentially turns things around in these team fights.
I think that's actually their most... it sounds weird to say when you have a Morphling and even a Bat. Like, maybe Bat getting a BKB is the other big one, but I would actually say I think the Ags for Disruptor is arguably the most important item. If they get that, they can win a fight for sure. With the Vacuum Wall, catch them in the kinetic field, drop the Static Storm, no BKB for burning at that point, Ice 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 can't Ravage. They could get 2, 3, 4 kills depending on how good the combo is, but I don't even think Morphling's next item is that scary. Like, even if he gets, say, an E-Blade, these heroes are tanky.
Yep.
Except for Shadow Demon. That's the one hero he might be able to assassinate. But he's likely to be sitting back.
4 heroes of DK will smoke in the Radiant jungle and rotate their way to the mid. Burning stops off for a Hand of Money transaction there, and now they'll find the Bat Rider. He blinks back just in time. Does reveal the smoke, and it looks like NewBee will make the great escape here as they all survive.
Momoya fishing for an arrow, but only finds an illusion. So that'll end the aggression for now. NewBee just basically not wanting to fight while the Aegis is up, and DK not feeling any particular sense of urgency. They'll go for safe pickoffs with 4 or 5, but they are respecting NewBee's team fight, and I think rightly so. Especially once the Disruptor Eggs comes out.
Yeah.
It's actually not that far off. He's farming pretty well. You go back till the lane started, they gave up first blood on the Chen, they gave up a kill on the Morphling. Like, the Disruptor just had no way to get involved in the game, really. He's found a decent amount of farm, all things considered.
Yeah, Moo being very elusive once again. He'll blink into the trees and TP home. How? Won't be so lucky. X, Torrent. Is there a boat coming?
He just
Nope, there's the BKB.
Delivered. Oh, that was close. Without that, I think he actually goes down.
Yeah, definitely. The rest of DK was inbound, but they'll survive for now. They do work out that 10-second BKB charge, and it will be on cooldown for the next minute. And DK will take this opportunity to pressure a tower, knowing that NewBee won't, most likely won't mount the defense. Scouting arrow flies through. They don't see anyone inbound, and yep, they'll use the defense or the disruption onto burning, get some extra illusions onto the field, and this will be an easy tier 2 tower.
Well, they know the 10-second BKB on the Morph is down, so it's not like NewBee want to fight right now.
Yeah, exactly.
He's, like you said, easy tower, and they can defend.
Yep. And yeah, that's it. They'll just rotate back through. It looks like the Aegis hasn't expired yet. Nope, but just about to. Yeah, 5 seconds left on it. So didn't get to do a hell of a lot, but just its presence probably helped DK about the map. NewBee being very elusive, not looking to take a fight. And it looks like a pipe is now going to be inbound for Ice Ice Ice, which is a pretty big item pickup as well.
That's pretty much... I don't think NewBee could do anything, honestly. The next Roche, even that's going to be very tough to contest. The one way they could maybe turn the fight is sniping the Aegis. So Morphling can BKB, just jump in. There's nothing to stop him from trying to grab it. The thing is, if he doesn't get it, they've probably lost the game right there. Because his BKB will be on cooldown, DK will get the Aegis, and they can just march down mid. There's no tier 2 standing now. Contesting the next Roche is very dangerous. But giving it up is... It's almost like signing your death warrant at that point. So I don't know. If they don't fight... I think their best place to fight is honestly just at the high ground, right at the ramp, where you can go for Vacuum Wall, Disruptor ult. Hopefully he has Ags by then. He's about 1,000 off right now.
Yeah, he is actually farming much more quickly than I would have thought. Maybe NewBee are now actually just giving San Sheng the farm priority at this point. So you know what?
You do, honestly.
Yeah, your Ags could turn this game around, buddy. You go for it. You take out that dire jungle.
Morphling's Manta is not going to turn this game around.
Yeah, that's
like
that's
Morphling. Morphling's 3 items from now can maybe turn this game, but just getting the Mantas I mean, there's so many ways to deal with him. There's just the bouncing glaives, which will shred a Manta, even if he completes it. Could just be a casual Yasha, could go back for E-Blade, but whatever that item is, it's very unlikely to turn the game on its own.
Arrow actually almost hit Sansheng. They were hoping he'd be on the other side of the tree line. He will TP out, and another close call, but NewBee will walk away unscathed. I do like this item pickup from Burning here. Goes straight into the Eagle Song, so it will be a Butterfly next on the Luna. Going for the evasion, and so smart because, well, what's Morphling going to do? He's already committed to the Yasha. He's not going to have an MKB anytime soon, and there's really no other natural MKB carrier, so... Oh, the Butterfly actually complete now. This is really big.
Burning's getting big.
Yeah. It's been hitting the gym, man.
I'm trying to get back on that status myself.
Just watch, guys. A few months from now, LD will be looking like Hani. Broad shoulders.
No, that takes many years, not a few months. A man can dream. Someday, but today is not that day.
Only one outer tower remaining for NewBee, and looks like their dreams of keeping their tier 3s alive may be shattered. They will burn their glyph. They'll go for a tier 1 for tier 2 exchange. How will finish it off in the bottom lane. So not bad. At least they get some extra gold. But DK,
it's the 5 Luna strat, man. They got to defend. I mean, well, actually no, they don't have Manta. What am I talking about? But 3 Lunas is plenty.
Yeah, no holds barred. And this tier 3 tower now fair game. The glyph has already been used. Some tornadoes coming in. There's your vacuum wall. Ice, and Burning taking some damage. Burning actually in trouble here. He'll get caught inside the lasso. That's a dead Luna. No, he survives to get off the Eclipse. Not a full duration Eclipse, but still throws a couple of beams. Forces out the BKB. Glimpse back onto Mirana. He will leap just in the nick of time. MMY still not out of the clear quite yet. Flame break onto. Ice with the Ravage ready, but will the follow-up be there?
No buyback from Burning just yet, and NewBee are just cleaning him up. They brought down 2. Looking for a bit more. Ice is tanky. Lanham not so much. On the retreat. Ice will throw out another Anchor Smash, but the chase continues. He's virtually immune to right clicks, though. In fact, he's just going to walk back in. They don't have Luna, they don't have Mirana. Mushi, though, is the one who can find these kills. X-Torn already. They will glimpse back 1, and the rest of NewBee will retreat in the end, it looks like.
You know, I did not see a Ravage or a boat on my screen that entire fight.
Yeah.
Was that a graphics issue, or
no? They did use the Ravage. Okay. I don't believe they used the boat though.
It was on cooldown. I feel like I was having that.
Boat?
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel like I was having that bug again. That's why the play-by-play was kind of like people are just taking damage. I don't really know what's happening here.
So the key thing there is they used the disruption on Luna to siege with the illusions, which means they did not have the defensive disruption for when the Luna got caught. Then he BKB'd, but at that point, Burning had already been caught by the vacuum into the wall, the illusion being created of him, and he was fighting up against a lot of right-click damage. So Burning's illusion is the DPS for NewBee, outside of Disruptor ult. If he had BKB'd a bit sooner, or if Mushi had, if he hadn't BKB'd and they'd been able to disrupt or potentially X him and keep him safe, could have turned the fight, but he is a bit squishy. And this is where DK may say, you know what, we should have waited for Aegis or waited for Burning to get a tank item. Ideally Satanic, maybe a Manta, and then siege with that. The other thing they can do is just don't send in the main hero. You can just siege with the illusions, and it'll be slower work, but it'll be safer as well.
Yeah, unnecessary risk from DK, but not all hope is lost here, LD. They'll get second Roche uncontested, another Aegis out on the Luna, but Big Bad Disruptor has now picked up his Ag Scepter.
He did not have that for the last fight, by the way.
He just picked it up, so this could be big for NewBee. We'll see how much of an impact it has. They are all smoked up in the Radiant jungle, but won't find an opening, and the smoke will just expire.
Well, Momoya is still working towards, I imagine it's the Lincoln Sphere. If you wanted to go for more of like a DPS build, Ultimate Orb first is generally not the way to go. So
yeah,
we'll see what he does. But yeah, they're working towards some additional items here.
Mm-hmm.
I think for DK, the Tidehunter not having Blink is in theory you don't need it. You've got Kunkka X to set things up, but in practice it's a pretty nice item. So
yeah,
a little unusual to see Ice skipping it.
He even has the Blink Dagger offhand and he's skipping it. That's just,
he's got it.
That's just
he's got
not
that
right.
Little, like knife in his left hand.
Yeah, it's the genuine Blink Dagger, mythical.
That's why he's skipping it. He's already got a Blink.
He's already got a Blink. Too bad it's muted and deactivated, but he's got one.
That would be so Eva. That's when you go full League of Legends mode. Well, even League doesn't have that.
Yeah, exactly. They don't have just buy your items before you get into the game.
I guess you have Flash. Everybody's got a blink dagger.
Everybody's got it though. So
But at least it's fair that way.
Yeah, exactly. But no, I agree with you. Even though it can be seen as a luxury item, it just makes Tide's life so much easier. And also, it just gives you that opportunity to catch them off guard. With this, maybe you can still get off a good Ravage, but you need someone else to kind of initiate and make it happen, whether it's disruption or...
They really should be able to with the Kunkka, as well as the Shadow Demon Mirana, to be honest. So.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm saying it would be nice. The main reason I like Blink on Tide here is that you can just sit back and wait for the Disruptor to drop his combo. Then you just Blink Ravage where the Static Storm is not. Because that's the main way he's not getting off his ult, is just perfectly placed Static Storms by Songsheng. So I think Blink really helps you to deal with that. But we'll see what he goes. Looks like he's going straight Shiva's next. So he's just going to go for unkillable tank Tide. And to be honest, he's pretty much there already.
Yeah, DK are still holding on to about a 10,000 gold lead, 15 to 11 here at the 33-minute mark, but they are giving NewBee some valuable time to start clawing their way back into this game. Hao has completed his Manta with another 1,200 gold to go, and another 1,200 gold to boot, rather, and he is already level 16. So Hao is starting to recover. Still not particularly scary, but that paired with the Ags on Disruptor like we talked about, and Darkseer has now picked up a BKB as well. As Batrider with a BKB, NewBee have some pretty scary items they didn't have in the last fight. There's even BOTs on Batrider as well.
There are BOTs on Batrider, and it might help him split push, but he doesn't have a ganking partner, unfortunately. This Morphling, the only hero they can kill is the Shadow Demon. Lanham is very squishy, 700 health, but you look at everyone else on this lineup, Mirana's got 1,200 HP, she's way too tanky to gank, and of course the 3 cores are, so... The Boots of Travel, I can only really see this helping them to stall the game. Just use it to split push. Batrider can push out a lane and then come join the fights for maybe the next Roshan, but I don't know if they're contesting the next Rosh. Bernie just picked up Satanic.
Wow.
He's getting to God mode Luna. Like, it's only 35 minutes in. He's, I'd say, 1 item away from basically being maxed. At that point, you could sell your buy your Boots of Travel. You want to save for buyback. Maybe you buy a 6th item if the Aegis isn't enough for the 3rd Aegis. Basically, he's at a Burning is at a point where he can just take the fights 5v5 and it all rests on the shoulders of Disruptor and Darkseer. They're the 2 key heroes here for NewBee.
Yeah, the Hand of Midas has just done so much work for Burning this game. He's still about 50% ahead of the Morphling in terms of net worth farm and 4 levels up on him. Burning is level 20 right now compared to the next highest, which are 16. There are 4 of them, 2 on each side. So he is the big outlier here and simply just massive. They may wait for him to have buyback just in case things go awry in this next fight. Even though DK have a big advantage, breaking the high ground isn't particularly easy, and NewBee are doing a good job not giving them any kind of an opening. If DK get a pick-off basically on anyone, a 5v4 is that green light they need to break the base, but, well, not easy for them to find a pick-off anywhere about the map. They will just group up as 5, though, and they'll head back to this top lane. The tower is almost dead. There is a glyph available for NewBee, so we'll see how they approach this.
So they're choosing the top lane over, say, mid. They're taking the side lane here for the split push, or for the 5-man siege, and it's just a harder lane to get the jump if you're NewBee. There's not as many angles for Batrider to approach from. Let's see if they repeat the same position as last time around. Are they going to send in the actual Luna hero? This time she has Satanic and Aegis, so I think if they want to, it's not that risky, but you can actually see they're...
Oh, he forces out the glyph.
They've learned from last time. They don't even want to risk, even with an additional Aegis and Satanic. Bernie will just sit back while the illusions do the work, and now NewBee will have to react. They're not split pushing.
Yeah.
If they sit here forever, they're just going to lose racks.
I'm a little bit surprised they glyphed that so eagerly. They even have a replicate down. And now the
first disruption illusions. Who's going to come out on top?
And tower will fall. It gets denied by the Morphling. Now the racks are exposed. And DK, will they play this safe, or are they just waiting for the next creep wave before they reinitiate?
Yeah, I do want to point out that DK has been gearing for this kind of siege all game. Lanham, he only took 1 point Shadow Poison. Quite unusual. Normally you see a Shadow Poison max. And he didn't finish maxing Soul Catcher. He took 3 points to help with the Mirana arrows. But they've been gearing up to siege with the illusions, and that's where your max disruption really comes in handy.
Yeah.
So they get the tier 3 does get denied, but hey, that's a tower down. Didn't cost them anything. Next time they win a fight, that's 1, probably 2 lanes of rack. If not mega creeps, because actually there's no tier 2 bottom either.
Well, the Aegis will get reclaimed once again, so DK don't get to capitalize on all of its value. And probably part of the reason that they decided to back up and play it safe.
I wonder what 71's thinking right now.
Me too.
Yeah. he was quite a fun guy. He was one of the most enjoyable interviews at the summit, I think. Gave really, really detailed answers and was not afraid to speak his mind either.
Yeah.
He basically said like the team has been playing like crap. Was politely what he said about how DK had been doing, but here comes the gank mid. They have lasso.
Uh-oh. Moo in the front lines. He is smoked up. Doesn't go for it, though. Thinking about hopping on Burning, but they will wait for another opening. Replicate is up. It is a fake Bat Rider.
But there's a Shadow Demon behind him. I don't know if they want to
Burning.
go Burning.
Oh, they get the disruption off. Arrow flies through. Will actually hit one of the creeps. Out comes the boat from Mushi. And Moo taking a lot of damage. Burning, taking a lot of damage as well. He will pop the Satanic. There it is. And he'll survive, at least for now. Throwing out the right clicks. San Sheng, the first target to fall. A few more right clicks will bring him down. No, he's actually still alive. This Disruptor is on the run. He's going to try and port out. The arrow doesn't hit him, but does give the valuable vision they need to finish him off. And after all that, it is just a 1-0. Luna barely survives with 33 hit points to spare.
That Disruptor Ags. Oh my goodness. If he doesn't have an Ags there, Burning just BKBs, pops his ultimate and wins the fight for them with the Eclipse. But instead, he couldn't get off Eclipse, so he's just sitting there. There's like 4 heroes milling around him at 2/3 HP. They all get away except for the Disruptor, and they force out Ravage from Ice. To be honest, not a very good Ravage, but this is where he doesn't have Blink Dagger, he doesn't have a Force Staff, and there's a Disruptor with Ags in the game, so it's just very hard to get off a good ultimate. And I honestly think going back for a Blink wouldn't be a bad move, but let's see, has he completed? It looks like he has Shivas now, so if he hits a better Ravage there, or if they get off Eclipse, that's a completely one team fight. And even though it doesn't go well, it's very scary for NewBee. They look at that and say that was perfect execution. DK had a really bad Ravage, they didn't even get off Eclipse, and they still almost killed 3 or 4 of us. So next time around, if we make a slight misstep, that's game. Pretty dangerous position. But hey, no more Aegis to deal with now.
Yeah. Now, MMY has gone for an interesting choice here, LD, proving us both wrong. Straight Scythe of Ice with that ultimate orb. So now has phase boots and a Hex, which he didn't have in that last fight. Picked it up after he grabbed that kill onto the elusive Disruptor. So, well, more tools for DK in this upcoming fight. And Luna has not picked up a Yasha, so there will be a Manta coming on the field before too long.
They're wrapping around mid lane. They want to go on Ice, but not a good lasso target. They need that Disruptor ult to start things off.
But no Ravage available for another 30 seconds. Burning does have an Eclipse. He'll be the target of choice for the lasso. Will they be able to bring him down, though? Doesn't look like it quite yet. Another beautiful Static Storm. That'll be enough to finish off Luna. The boat comes flying through. Ice, now the target of choice.
This Disruptor Ags is winning them the game. Burning could not BKB, could not Satanic, and now Ice will get caught. This should be another hero going down soon. Arrow coming through Chow 8, but the turnaround is real. NewBee winning the fights right now, and now chasing onto Mushi. They might get him too. Lasso not available, but they might be able to just run him down. Is their glimpse ready? There is. He'll come right back, and they'll lose the Kunkka too. That's 3 cores dead. There's no Ravage just now cooling down. Eclipse still available, but you know, is he even going to get off Eclipse this game anymore? I don't know, man.
Yeah.
NewBee are just... Sangshun was playing a brilliant game on this Disruptor, and NewBee with fantastic focus fire. I don't think they can break base here, but they're just trying to force out some buybacks. They'll force out the Kunkka buyback.
It's the only one they have. Luna's
doesn't have one, actually.
Yeah, 15 gold short. Arrow will connect onto Moo. They will at least get a tier 3 tower here. Torrent connects. Mushi does have a ghost ship available, and he may need to throw it. There it is. Ding, ding. Now Mushi gets caught by the lasso. MMY doing what he can. Defensive disruption comes out onto Mushi to keep him alive. There's the vacuum. And NewBee, I think they need to cut their losses here and get out while they still can. Starting to take a lot of damage. They want the racks before they go. The melee racks will be the target. BKB popped on the Morphling to make the escape. San Sheng slowed, but will get force stabbed back to safety.
Sent back by the Chen, and looks like everybody's going to end up living. Sangshun back at the well. They hold on to their gem. NewBee. Everybody lives. They take Rex. If you told me that NewBee were going to be the ones to take Rex first, I would not have believed you. I would have said, you know what?
I would have said, you crazy, LD. Get out of here.
You're full of shit. So I'm going to go let the cat out here as she is meowing her head off.
Well, it looks like Roshan will be fair game for DK. Arrow from long range will stun him up, and this is actually third Roche. NewBee opted for the racks rather than Roche, and I'm not sure that DK will be able to bring him down fast enough. They have a medallion falling quickly, but Moo, lasso, already available. Hal waveforms forward, and nope, they won't go for it.
Freedom for the cat.
Yeah.
She scurries away.
Instead,
it's like doing laps around the room.
They get baited by the double damage up top. Oh, wow. So third Roche goes the way of DK, and I feel like this is one thing that they need to get back in this game. Now, The key is to use this Aegis. Have Burning be that targeted choice. See if they can bait out the sand or the Static Storm to burn the Aegis instead of the actual burning. But look at this Howl up top, just chunking the tower.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
Oh man,
They did a lot of damage to that tier 3 top. I think this is a key item though for DK. Is Lanham getting a Blink Dagger? It means when Burning gets lassoed, Lanham can just sit back, wait to see where the lasso is going to end up, and then blink in, not get caught in Static Storm, most likely, and get off Disruption. And that should buy him enough time to live through the Static Storm, potentially just pop BKB Satanic, and I think if he gets those items off, he's still strong enough to withstand most of the right click. The Morphling now is a Butterfly house, pretty big, but he's not overwhelmingly strong, and like you mentioned, not normally do you see a BKB or an MKB on Morphling until much later on, so this Blink Dagger on Shadow Demon could be a very crucial item to withstand the Static Storm initiation.
yeah. Burning just has to survive the Static Storm. If he can get off the BKB or the Satanic, I think he can stand his ground. Like you said, it's really the matter of using those two big core items. The Satanic in particular, but
one more bad fight, Andrew, and it could go right back the other way.
yeah, I saw you flash the gold graph earlier, and NewBee have cut the lead of DK just about in half at this point. Now they have a Scythe of Vice up on their Darkseer, and you mentioned that Butterfly on Morphling, so things are starting to level out, and DK are not in the clear as they once were. Now they'll press forward.
The other
use
thing
the
is they have Manta.
disruption.
They can siege with Manta illusions and with the disruption illusions, so they don't really have to commit the main hero unless they feel super confident.
They just have to be careful not to get caught with disruption on cooldown. They force out the glyph right away to start off this fight.
You want Morphling to split pushing top. It's not super fast, but someone's got to go defend. There's no glyph. And now they're going to try and cut off the path of retreat. They have a gem up a move. Triple vacuum. They're going to be forced to engage while the Morphling split pushes. They double BKB for that.
Oh no, the Morphling has cleared out the entire lane of Rax. They're going for Xiao Wei, but end of the day, it's just a Darkseer. It looks like two fights are breaking out. Darkseer will fall. Moo and Banana on the run.
They've got nothing in return. DK, what's going on?
They didn't even bring down the Darkseer. Oh no, they have to go all in at this point. They're going to have to base race it.
It's too slow. Well, maybe Lanham can turn this one. Disruption Soul Catcher is there. Can he solo counter push this How out of the lane?
He will force him back. Tier 3 in the mid lane falls. DK doing a lot of damage. The bouncy glaives from Luna actually clearing out the structures pretty quickly. But How just going for the tier 4s. This is a true base race. In comes
He's
Ice.
left his replicate at the base,
no.
and he's coming back to defend. He
Static
can jump
Storm?
in mid if he wants.
There is a Ravage available here. All heal from Chen. Mid lane of Rax will fall. Lanham doing what he can to buy some time. DK, they won't go for the tier 4s. They'll just head top. They want the
goes
Rax
back
here.
in.
But uh-oh. Morphling, he finishes off the Shadow Demon.
Can DK afford to be going for Rax as their TP situation? They still have one on Ice Ice Ice. Burning, no TP. He's going to have to stick around. And How? He's already broken down everything. The tier 4s will fall, and the arrow comes through. That'll
Burning.
connect on How.
BKB, Ravage. Uh-oh, Moo now perhaps in some trouble. They finished off Xiao Wei. They just have to stop this Morphling. He's going to kill MMY, but no, the Morphling actually falls. There's your buyback. DK, they'll be forced to retreat, though. It will be 2 lanes of Rax for 2 lanes of Rax. And maybe
Everything's
they'll go
gotten a
back
little
in.
crazy here at the 11th hour, but in the
Wow.
end, it's 2 lanes of Rax to 1.5 lanes of Rax. No range Rax down top lane. The other issue is that DK have lost all their tier 4s and a lot of their buffer buildings. Throne even took a decent amount of damage. They still had Glyph there. They weren't quite at the point where it's like they're about to lose the game, but they were damn close, I gotta say. By the way, if we were wondering what MMY was going for, it is in fact a Hex, so I actually think it's pretty strong against Morphling, and as mentioned, their team isn't really the best lineup to counter a Morphling. They just got so far ahead they were able to, but Hex will help them deal with that. So we'll see I guess this is round 3 from DK.
Are DK going all in here? They're 5-man.
They have Aegis. The Morphling already used buyback, I believe, in the last engagement.
Yes, he did.
So if Morphling dies again, that's checkmate. They're not split pushing either.
And they still have plenty of time on the Aegis as well. Eclipse coming up in 10 seconds. Tied with no Ravage here. Uh-oh. Moo, BKB on. Looking for a lasso target. He's not going to find one. They might be able to bring him down. The Static Storm doesn't connect with much. This could be bad for NewBee. They're on the back foot. Tier 3 in the bottom lane, taking heavy damage. No glyph available. They're going for the structures over the heroes. Hal starting to right-click down Ice Ice Ice, but the Kraken Shell doing some serious work. Moonlight Shadow deployed. Out comes the boat. The Admiral Kunka's rum might help a little bit here. Tier 3 tower falls. There is still a range Rax up top, so this won't be mega creeps. Even if DK get these Rax, they can't afford to get completely wiped up here. Burning in the front lines. Aegis still available, going blow for blow with Hal, but he'll get hexed. Burning could fall. He does. That's the Aegis. And DK may opt to back out here. Eclipse is
Now
available.
BKB, he gets disrupted. Great blinking for Lanham. They needed that desperately. Still, though, Bernie might end up going down regardless. He pops the
Eclipse has
The Mantis-
Satanic. No, doesn't pop it. Sansheng. He gets finished off. DK might actually be able to do this. Buyback from the Disruptor. Now the racks fall. They need this range racks up top. Where do they go from here? Do they retreat? Do they rotate up? And they will at least move out of the base. Courier flying
Shiva's
through.
guard is coming as Burning once again defensive disruption from Lanham, really turning these fights. Oh my goodness, the Courier, it's collateral damage, the bouncing glaives bring it down.
Ice is up top. He's just going straight for the barracks. The range racks will fall. Still no Glyph available. Another auto attack ought to do it. That's going to be Megas for DK. I think they might have done it in game 1 here, LD, and they will. That's the GG well played from NewBee. Wow.
My goodness, so we're going to a game 2 or 3. I'm not actually sure if there's the 1 game advantage, but DK with 1 more win, they'll take it.
Wow.
Unbelievable, man.
That was a
That looked like it didn't look like an overwhelming DK lead, but just a solid. We can just starve them, take it late. We can siege with the disruption illusions, but NewBee really used Static Storm effectively. For me, Sangsheng, even though NewBee lost, is probably him and Lanham are the 2 players I think turned this game the most. Lanham with some fantastic defensive disruptions, and of course Sangsheng. The Static Storms combined with Xiao 8's ultimates were so crucial.
Yeah, that was just intense. I want to say a surprising victory for DK, only because they were so far ahead, then started to throw a little bit, and then barely squeaked it out at the end. I think if they had procced the Aegis and the team fight before the last on Burning, that would have been completely different. The Aegis at the end is what allowed them to be so aggressive and basically go all in and get the Megas. Without that extra life on the Luna, that last fight would have been much more difficult. So.
Well, we're going to another game. I'm going to try to find out here if there's a 1 game advantage, but 1 more win for DK and they take it. They come back through the losers bracket and take the win in the end.
Yeah.
Any closing thoughts here before we take a quick break?